What are your dreams? What are your wants? Do you want to grow your business? Help you crush your goals personally, professionally, and financially? Just join the conversation. What's up? What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday, man. Hope everyone had a great New Year's. We had a week off. I know I'm like discombobulated. It's like the first time seeing you guys for the new 2023, really to crush it and accomplish it. Hey, who's with me? Who's ready to really start this new year out with the bang, man? I know we missed a week, but just with the thumbs up, we ready to crush 2023? Like, do we really believe that this 2023 is going to be the greatest? I know it is for me. Really excited. A lot of chapters in my life might be changing, moving on, but I'm so blessed to be a part. And guys, this talk today though is about what is humanly possible. For all the newcomers, if you're a young, inspiring dentist who's in dental school, if you're somebody who is just an entrepreneur, somebody who's just stuck in their ways, just trying to figure out how to win the game of life, all these calls are for you. If you've been a dentist for 20 years, if you've been just a mom or a dad or a spouse or anybody who just wants to better yourself, that's what these calls are about. But I want it, certain these calls are definitely meant to grow together. They're meant to really change the way we start living our life today. Just how do we show up? How do we do these things? And today we're going to talk about just what game do we want to defy play again? What is humanly possible? What do we want to do? And so my intention always is, and it always will be, is that I just hope by just sometimes looking, man, I've gone through some peaks and valleys myself in life. And I really hope that through all this, you see the vulnerability of myself, you see that we're growing together, and you see that anything is humanly impossible. And I hope you take the ways I do it, some of my tips, some of my tricks, and apply them into your life. And I really hope that by doing this, you're going to achieve things that you never thought humanly possible. And that's what this talk is really today. What is humanly possible? But, this applies to dental students. This applies to the entrepreneurs. This applies to the mom, the dad, the kids, the people that are in school. This applies to everybody. And I really hope that when we do this, you're taking away all these and that you become a best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, if I'm just a part of your journey and I'm a part of your success and I'm a part of something that just you become the best version of yourself, then I've won this thing called life. Because my goal, my sole purpose is how can I make the greatest impact in this world? How can I make the greatest impact? I make an impact by maybe touching your life and you touching mine. So just, hey, if you're ready to start this journey, and I tell you that after this, just give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. Let me know that these calls are worth it to you. Let me know that we are ready to accomplish this thing, man. I love your feedback. I love everything, but we're going to dive into this. And for you that don't know me, the newcomers, I'm Dr. Bobby Grassi, born and raised in Flint, Michigan by a mom raising 3 kids on her own. I know what it's like to grind. I know what it's like not to have money. I know what it's like to really have to reinvent your life. I am 49 years old. I will be 50 in February, and I'm literally at a crossroad. And some of the people on the call that know me know I'm at this crossroad of what is next for me. How do I create more? What is it that I want? Just with the thumbs up, just with a small pause before we dive into this call. Have you guys ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like, man, am I moving in the right direction? Like, what is next for me? What do I really want? And do I have the energy to do it? And so these calls are designed to hopefully give you that energy. Hopefully believe that anything you set your mind to, anything you want to manifest is humanly possible. And that's what we're talking about today. Every day, humanity reaches new heights of greatness, right? From scaling the highest summit in the world to running a marathon in a record time and raising unimaginable sums for charity. Like, these feats happen every single day, right? They emphasize the belief that anything is achievable. Like, I was at a crumble cookie conference, right? There's really no barriers. I know I said crumble cookie conference. And this guy, you talk about resiliency and creative problem solving and what is humanly possible, embracing all these things that are traveling in his mind and what was literally belief system and possibilities and how has it happened? How do I have faith? How do I stand alone? What do I do? How do I surround myself with a team? His name was James Lawrence, and they call him the Iron Cowboy. And the reason why they call him an Iron Cowboy is because he always ran with a cowboy hat on so that his kids could see him and through all these Ironman competitions. And he's from Calgary. I don't know if the cowboy thing came because I think Calgary's dominant for their stampedes or whatever, the rodeos. But I think that's why the Calgary Stampede and Canadian Football League, I digress, is named that now that it's just Eureka moment. But He talked about how he felt with demons every single day. Here's a guy that literally ran 100. He started with 50 Ironmans in 50 consecutive days. And then he thought that wasn't good enough. And he ran 101 consecutive Ironmans in 101 consecutive days. Now, look at, if anyone knows me, I have a hard time getting up 101 consecutive days. I'm just kidding. But this is a man who then, when he was talking to me at Utah, started crying on stage because he told me the pain and lack of belief he had in himself that it was possible. He had the same demons in his head that was telling him he wasn't good enough. He had the same outside noise in his head that people were saying you weren't good enough. Guys, a man did 101 Ironmans, broke every human limb possible. He did the last 40 with the broken back. And he doubted himself. He's still to this day, look him up, James Lawrence. I don't know why I'm endorsing a guy, but he's amazing. He's the Iron Cowboy. Look him up, though. If you need any form of motivation, forgive me, maybe look him up. But my point is here's a man that accomplished great things, and he still deals with the same stress and demons in his own head. Guys, the first thing we have to do is believe. We got to self-believe in ourselves. We got to believe that anything is accomplished. We got to, when we get the naysayers in our own mind, because let's be honest, there's a lot of people that believe that I'm capable of great things, but guess who's going to doubt myself first? It's going to be me, right? Or guess who's going to do things? If you don't feel confident in yourself, if you don't think you can accomplish it, you're right. You're always going to be right. So I want you to first believe, what is possible? Can I accomplish these great things? The answer is yes. Failure is part of the journey. And just when he was doing the Ironmans and he wasn't coming through, he failed. He failed and had to get back up. There was moments where he blacked out running and he had a team to pick him up. Yes, failure is part of the journey. And I think we need to embrace the failure. I think we need to it helps us become more resilient. It helps us have a stronger belief system in ourselves, and it helps us get back up. Because when I was going through dental school myself the first 2 years, I can remember, why isn't this working out? It wasn't working. I failed a few tests. I didn't think I had the ability to go on. Like I know what it was like, but that failure, the not getting what I want, I almost feel like failure now is a form of like a non-entitlement, right? Too many times we don't allow kids to fail. Just with a thumbs up, if you have kids in this generation, would you agree that I truly believe kids don't fail enough? I truly believe that part of the problem with our world is that they're not failing. I mean, just with a thumbs up. Totally, right? So failure is part of the journey. And I think so many people refuse to start and just stop believing in themselves because of that failure. But I want you to know, every time you hit a mountaintop, you got to fall back down to the valley. You have to go to a higher mountain, to go to the summit, to go to a different apex. You got to go back down to go back up. So you're going to fail. You're going to fall. Can you learn from these journeys? And these mistakes are just learning opportunities as disguise. If we can embrace them, if we can truly flip the script in our own mind, going, you know what, resistance is meant for growth. The chapter I'm in my life right now, as I start talking to you, growing with Grassi, as I'm starting to talk through this call, I'm realizing what a great opportunity I have. I'm meeting resistance, and I'm able to change the trajectory of my life right now, instantaneously by making a decision. But everything starts with just believing in yourself. And then once you have faith in your own abilities, the sky is the absolute limit. Having faith in oneself is the most powerful tool for achieving anything in life, especially greatness. I mean, look, man, I always say to people, tell me I can't do something, please. And that's what James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy, said is, tell me I can't do something, and I will. The guy that invented Crumble Cookie, one of the COOs, said, please tell me I can't do something. And now they said, you'll never be able to do this, man. And now they're going international. So I love the self-fuel. But if you don't believe in yourself and you don't have the ability to change, it starts with you and it ends with you. When you believe in yourself, though, you unlock these worlds of possibilities that is greater than yourself. Self-belief comes from ambition and motivation to push harder, to even achieve even more things way, way beyond your belief system. So change is only possible when you put trust in yourself. Change is only possible when you believe that you can make a difference in this world, because you can. That's when change is possible. So embrace the power. Embrace your self-belief system. Bring it to the positive change, even if this change is difficult and scary. Like we talk about this, even when it is scary. The one thing that you have to do every single day is you got to show up. You got to just show up. Success lies within your reach when you just trust yourself enough to make it happen. Just show up. Like even in dentistry, we joke about it all the time. Like, how do I continue to add value, or how do I continue to take a day that's, $4,000 to $15,000? Well, it starts with showing up. It starts with showing up. And I'm not using dollar amounts that's what I mean, but you have to show up. Like even when you're depressed and dark, the worst thing, I was telling a staff member, the worst thing you can do is just not show up. Because even when we all battle these demons, when we battle these self-belief or self-doubts in our system, guys, when we don't move, we become dark. When we become dark, we become toxic. I'm going to say this. I'm going to coin this. Even if you're in the lowest of lows right now, this is meant for everybody. Even if you're in the highest of highs, you're going to hit a low again. I promise you. Lack of movement is death. Even water that stands still becomes toxic. The most greatest thing in the world, 70% of our body is water. Everything we need is water. Life is water. But if water stops flowing with the current and water doesn't move, it becomes toxic. So you got to move. Increase your motivation, increase your productivity, become more creative. Whether you look to increase productivity, whether you look to be creative, just get off to a better start in the morning. Just try. The key is to learn how to boost your motivation. How do you get yourself motivated when you're down? Maybe you got to figure out what your purpose is. Maybe you got to figure out what your calling is. Maybe you got to figure out what is your why. Because your why has got to be the reason to motivate you when you're down. Your why. Start motivating yourself throughout. It can be so hard. But if you have strategies and we put techniques in place and we just know our why, it'll become easier every single day. When you don't want to, what's your why? I didn't want to get up today. What's my why? What am I doing this for? Why? And keep asking yourself, don't say more money. If somebody says, oh, I'm doing this for more money, that's not true. What's your deeper why? Dig deeper. Ask yourself 7 different questions. Why? And then find things that inspire you. Submerge yourself in positive topics. I got to surround myself every single day. I got a buddy of mine going through probably the biggest changes of his life, and out of respect for him, I'm not going to mention his name. His wife just got diagnosed with the L word, leukemia. We don't say the C word. Just got diagnosed with it. Man, he's up every single day inspiring people. He's staying motivated. He's getting into bigger projects. He's finally doing things to keep his life simple as possibly can, but accomplishing big things. He's staying focused on the big picture. He even told me, and I quote this, I will never give power to the C word. I call it leukemia. And I'm not going to mention a name, but think about this. His eye is on a bigger picture. He's still motivated. Even when there's outside noise, things peppering us every single day. Guys, we have no excuses not to stay motivated. We're going to get hit with things. People get hit with things way harder than we could ever dream of. What's your why? Why are you doing this thing? If it's your kids, find a way when you're down to get up because your kids want you to have successful. If you're sad because you lost a loved one, by golly, they don't want you to feel bad about losing them. They want you to live a legacy that's bigger than them. Once you find what motivates you, and then you carry out these trips at home, that's when you're going to make it part of your routine. And you'll be well on your way to crushing your dreams and productivity. Changing negative talk to positive affirmations is one of the greatest things you can do. Self-talk has a powerful effect, not only how you perceive yourself, but even on your own capabilities. It paralyzes me. Like I literally said to myself, I cannot believe I was negative talking myself. I say this to you because I want you to understand I'm you. I've been where you're at. I know where you stand. And even yesterday, I was crying. I called my wife crying. Literally, I'm vulnerable as it can be. I don't know if I can do this. And then I started thinking about, what am I doing? Why am I sabotaging my own life? Like I coach people, I mentor people. What am I doing? And I want you to understand this. It's okay to be human. Somebody said that to me the other day. It's okay to be human. And don't stay down for long, though. Get your mind right, get refocused. We can look, guys, we are the best, worst critics in our life. But if you want to know what's humanly possible, it does not start with negative talk. Negative talk will kind of destroy your full potential. It'll have a totally adverse effect on you, and it'll destroy you. So to turn those negative thoughts into positive ones, start by writing down what's the most common negative patterns of your life. What do you constantly tell yourself? What are you constantly saying to yourself? What is that barrier that's in your way? What gatekeeper is holding you back? I said something the other day that I have these talks with people all the time. And I just say things out loud just to process information. And my coach and my mentor says, no, that's not true. He goes, I'm like, well, what do you mean? He goes, that's your gatekeeper speaking. That's your gatekeeper speaking out loud. It's just, you got to know to suppress it in the back. And we talk about gatekeepers, fear, judgment, and ego. Mine's fear. Mine's the fear of loss, fear of failure, or fear of losing money. And a lot of it stems from my upbringing. But by me saying things, I always challenge people. And if anybody's on the call, I think Ken's on the call, Christine, Annalisa, Guy, you've been on these calls several times, and you kind of know that my MO has always been, a financial thing. So I'll always challenge people financially. And a lot of it is because my gatekeeper rears its head up and says, no, you better get all these answers. So know that the negative thoughts and negative patterns, just know where they're at. Know that you're going to have the gatekeepers to keep you safe. Know that you're going to have these patterns, but how do you flip the pattern? So like I did chewing tobacco for 17 years, and I know I'm on this social media platform and people go, I can't believe a dentist did chewing tobacco. But I want you to tell you how it was a negative pattern in my life that I had to change. And people said to me, how did you change it? Like, what did you possibly do to quit chewing tobacco? I said, I just quit. And they're like, no, what was the strategy? No, I just decided to quit. No, really, what did you do? Did you wear a patch gum? Nope. I made a commitment and conscious effort to change my negative pattern to a positive one. And I knew that if I could just do this for 3 days, 7 days, 21 days, 30 days, 40 days, I could just stack wins upon wins, then I knew I could accomplish it. Now, I will tell you this. People say to me, what was the greatest feat you ever had in your life? And people, it's not dental school. It's not opening up 6 businesses. That is not my greatest feat. My greatest feat was knowing that I had the power in my own mind to change a negative belief pattern and quit dipping. That was one of the greatest feats I ever had because it's something that had a hold of me. So achieving goals of injections, you have to get rid of the negative patterns. Achieve the goals. It's difficult. It's hard. We got the old adage, right? If you think you can't, you won't. If you think it can, you will. Right? So I always tell people, you're always going to be right. When you don't have belief in your system and you say you can't, you're absolutely correct. When you say it's humanly possible, when you say, I think I can, you can. James Lawrence, the iron cowboy, talks about the reason why people fail is because they try to hit the big goal right away. They don't understand the pain and the pressure and the building and the confidence it takes to just do one Ironman. And then the next day, the Ironman. He said he had a conversation when he was coming down, and the guys, he was on day, I think, 91, so there's 9 days left. And the guy said to him in the stands, and he got pissed off because he was so in the moment. He goes, you have 9 left. He's like, no, I don't. He goes, no, you have 9 left. He goes, no, I don't. I have 3 left. And they were on different pages. James had to say he had 3 miles left of today. He was getting through today. Forget about the 9 other Ironmans he had to get through. Get through today. Find out just how to win today. And then if you don't know where to start, that would be my message of the day. Take small steps to affirm that you just have even the competence and capability. Keep in mind that anything broken down to bite-sized chunks, smaller chunks, is achievable, right? So if you want to run, let's say you want to run an Ironman. Well, start with a 4-mile race. And then start building one step at a time, and then you start believing it. Then you can reframe all your failures and all your learning experience. You can kind of create all your mistakes, and then you can process it and learn how to better yourself. That's what he did. He goes, I kept learning from every little challenge I made, how to diet, what I eat. He did 12,000 calories a day. He knew what he had to have as a team. He knew how to surround himself, but it started by just taking these in bite-sized chunks. Even the 101 in 101 days, he just focused on the day. And then connect yourself with supportive people that will cheer you on. He said, I didn't do this alone. He talked about his wife, Sonny. He talked about his team. And then he said he would visualize himself with another great feature and seeing what could happen and what came into fruition in his mind. And he saw himself. He said he had a date every single day, what kept him going through it. And I'm sharing you these stories because this is what we can do. What's your why? He says, I had a date every single run to run the last 5K with my daughter. That's power. His why of doing it, where we think is insane, was so that he could prove to his kids that anything is possible. The guy lost his house. He went bankrupt. He had no money. They were living from trailer to trailer. He had no sponsorship. And the guy did it because he told his kids and family they would, and they supported him. Guys, could you imagine having a support system like that? Could you imagine having that much intentionality of your life and committing to what you do, he's unstoppable. Now he's an icon. He's a world. I mean, he's now worth millions upon millions of dollars, and he could have quit. He had self-doubt in his head. He cried on stage. So believe in yourself. Believe that anything you can set your mind to is humanly possible. Having faith in yourself is the most important thing. There's going to be doubters. There's going to be naysayers. There will be people that believe you cannot do it. But if you can cultivate that and know that you believe in yourself and you stand alone, cool. You can do it, but surround yourself. It'll be the most fulfilling life, fulfilling journey you ever had when you have faith in yourself. When you know that you can do anything. And that's where I lack sometimes. I can't believe sometimes I doubt myself just like he does, but we all do. But it allows us just have faith in yourself. Trust your own instincts. Breaking through barriers created by your own self-doubt or failure. You can do this. You can break through anything. And when you have faith in yourself, even going through dental school, nobody thought it was humanly possible for me. Sleeping 2 hours a day for 4 years. I had to make bold decisions. I had to pursue a lot of difficult times. I had to pursue goals and convictions and sacrifice and do that. You gain nothing without sacrifice. You gain nothing in life without going through the pain. You gain nothing in life without resistance. You can't be a strong trunk of a tree without wind blowing on you. You can't have your roots deep in the ground without pain and turmoil. You can't. And that's the problem with this youth generation. Maybe our movement is how do we make people better? We make them better by showing a little bit of resistance, giving them a little pressure. That's when the diamond forms. Guys, just with a thumbs up or a heart, is this tracking for you? Can you feel the energy coming through the screen? I hope. It's so hard. Like I said, whether you're just trying to figure your way out in life or who you want to be, this is for you. Ultimately, this is going to bring you healthier, happiness, better physically, mentally, emotionally, and create the life we hope. Just create the life we hope. It's going to take time. It's going to take a total amount of dedication. It's going to take consistency to build a foundation. Are you strong enough to eventually bear the fruit? I don't know. Put it simply, hard work is the key ingredient that mixes the commitment and dedication to produce success, regardless of what shape or form that it might take. So if you're looking for a way to achieve success, look no further. Put the hard work in needed. Show up every single day. You have all the tools. You have all the knowledge. You have everything you have. What you have to do is going from this day forward, this is what I'm doing. I'm at least going to show up. That's what the Iron Cowboy did. That's what all the great entrepreneurs do. That's what the great moms and dads do in the world. That's what the great dentists do in the world. That's what the young entrepreneurs do. The young dentists going to dental school. It starts, just go one day at a time. Having commitment to succeed is the essential for growth and progress, period. Hard work alone is not enough. You got to have the commitment. You got to put a plan ahead of you. You got to set goals. You got to remain determined the whole time. Even when you get pushed back, you got to overcome the obstacles. You got whatever's standing in your way. Show us what you want. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want down. Tell me how I can help you. Let me be your support system. Let me give you the confidence when you're down, like some people give me the confidence when I'm down. Put it in the planner. Email me at theinfo@thedentistco.com. What is it that you truly want to grow? What is it? Let's get this shit done. Let's make this happen. Let's make a difference together. Let's have an Iron Cowboy story. Let's have a Guy Blondin story. Let's have a Chandel story of success. Let's have a Ken K story of success. Christine and everyone else that's on the call. If you're a young dentist that's on this call, let me show you. Let me have a success when you say, hey, man, I talked to this cat named Dr. Grassi, and he helped me break through the barriers. As you help me grow every day, you are my therapy session. I don't think you know this. I needed this call more than this world needed this call. Like I needed this, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. And I really hope this was a value to you. Was this a value to you guys? Was this something that hopefully moved you today? I sure hope it did. And with the response, I believe it did. Thank you. I know it did. So come next week, guys. I'm going to show you. Believe that you can do it. That's all it is. We know it's humanly possible, but we're really going to dive down deep to the core of what really is the belief system. Because I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to hit those obstacles again. You're going to hit that mountain. That's why people don't stay to the New Year's resolution plan. They feel that pain. They feel that resistance, and they quit. Don't quit on your why. Don't quit on the people that rely on you to quit. That's the easy way out. You become the best version of yourself when you meet that resistance. You become the best version of yourself when you face your fears head on. We all see these people every single day that run from controversy. They run from their fear. And you know what? Sometimes standing alone is hard. Sometimes showing up every day is hard, guys. I know. We all have our pits. We all have our valleys. Let's climb this shit together. Let's climb and make this humanly possible. Anything is humanly possible. Remember, the word possibility or impossible is I am possible. You are a blessing in this world. You are the greatest thing that came from the Creator and God. You have all the unlimited potential to accomplish anything you set your mind to. And I appreciate for your sharing your time with me today. Guys, I love you. We'll talk soon next Tuesday. Have a blessed day. Thanks for showing up.